is up, creative world? My name is Reverend Ponte. I'm an artist and creative in Norwalk, Connecticut, and today is a special day because we are taking a tour of Brian Kaspr's studio. Brian Kaspr is an amazing artist, illustrator, and letterer, and I'm really excited. I've been trying to connect with him for a long time to actually get a tour of his studio to see how he's gotten to where he's gotten and how he's built his art careers. But before we start, I do want to ask, if you guys enjoy this content and you want to see more studio tours, let me know by subscribing and giving this video a like. That way, I know you guys are enjoying the videos and you guys are enjoying the content, and we can keep doing more cool stuff for you. Without further ado, let's go meet Brian Kaspr. What's up, dude? I'm doing great, man. How are you? The first time I came across his work was when he painted a house in Darien and he wrote the message, "We will miss you when you're gone." We thought it was super awesome, so we've been really excited to just connect with him and finally come down to the studio, check it out. Show us around.
All right, what do you want to see first?
Tell me about your day, how do you create, how the studio came about, and how things work.
Starting over here on the project wall, like this is where the magic happens. This is where all the paint gets slung, all the color happens. This piece and a bunch of the stuff that's piled up over there, which we can go through if you want. So this is for the client. Actually, this blank fit in the middle is there's actually a photograph of a model here. It's superimposed onto a photo, which is kind of cool. This one started out from that project, and it was left over. This whole big area in the middle here was all blank, and so it was really just kind of this border. And so, not to waste things, I just decided to start painting the middle of it, and then I think this is actually going to get cut down and turned into furniture. One of my furniture guinea pigs. I have someone who's interested in making this like cabinet. So I'd like to do these glass paintings. This is where you cut into shots of the glass paintings around the studio.
Of course, yeah.
So I love doing these glass paintings because I love the way they look, like from the front. Because like on the back, it just looks like hell. And even when you like catch the light with it, it looks even more like hell. What's the budget? Which I think I'm actually gonna turn into a print because I think everyone needs that thing. Everyone needs that thing.
I feel like that's the first question we need to ask.
Right?
Every
like
time.
it is, right? So that's kind of like the big stuff going on the table. I don't really like working on the table, at least for painting, because of this, because of your like, you know, just cramping. But this one in particular, another glass piece, I put metal flake on it. And I need, because I'm using a brush with metal flake, it needs to be able to, gravity needs to, it needs to sit. So that's why these two are here. So this is another glass painting that I'm working on. And this here is actually going to be the frame for that piece. I like to work using the same paint colors and stuff that I have going for the piece of wood that's going to become the frame. So that way it's like using the same colors. There's some of the metal flake is tucked in here. And then it just becomes like all cohesive unit. Working around, this is the main like toolbox of all paint and brushes and like everything. Respirator and gloves. Safety first. I get so many fools that like whenever they see a video of me and I got a respirator on, or latex gloves for that matter, they're like, well, "Yo, why are you wearing a respirator?" To protect my lungs and my brain. You ever read the back of one of these paint cans? Like, it is scary. This area has just kind of become a little bit of a dumping ground of like just random stuff. Sort of inspiration, some work storage. I built a shelf initially to hold paintings that I had to get up out of the way, but now it's become sort of like the tchotchke knick-knack shelf. So the Amico banner, I originally bought to have cut up and like made into a shirt. It's like handmade, and I just could not bring myself to cut it apart. counter was sort of built as a work surface, but I found out really quickly, based on like the way that I work, that it doesn't really serve me. So now it just becomes kind of this like dumping ground for stuff. I did tidy it up for the YouTube video. Got the phone graveyard. Oh, this is from the house. Actually, so is the frame on up there, but that's from the You're Gonna Miss Me When I'm Gone house. This is from the Demolition Derby. I pretty much only enter Demolition Derbies so I can paint a car and all the things that go around it, like helmets. This is actually a Pinewood Derby car that I made when I was probably like 10. They're sick. It's got lead in the bottom. 15th. Yeah, so I needed a clock for the studio, and so I like to obviously buy vintage stuff, and I like to buy things off of eBay and keeping stuff out of landfill and all that. And so I went on eBay just to like look for a clock, and I don't even remember what I typed in. And then it popped up where like there was another lighted clock that popped up, and so then I became obsessed with searching for like advertising clocks, and this one popped up, and I was like, I absolutely need the rainbow RCA Technicolor TV clock, and it works. The flat files underneath the counter here just hold, obviously, like prints. This is great, I get to like see things that I forgot about. I found this in the trash. It's actually, they made these little plaster letters with the pins. So when people made home movies, when like Super 8 and 16mm was becoming more of a thing, they made these so you could like lay them out, you know, onto a surface and punch them in, and then you could film it. You could take like a shot of it and make like a title screen. Well, these are things I need to get framed. That's from Espo. He sent that as a gift. I was just like, oh, cool. But like these are like my copies of my prints that I just have. So only me and this might as well be called the pre-iPad drawer because it is. Let's see if I can find something. So like I said, I would sketch things out, take it to the tracing table, and then do it in ink. And then this would get scanned and cleaned up and turned into digital files. So this whole drawer is just like all those originals. So these are more of the reverse glass, but this is gold leaf that's added. And without getting like too technical, you have to create this like, you have to create a gelatin that bonds the gold leaf to the surface of the glass. And when it does and dries, it makes it like a mirror. So it's a little bit trickier to plan, like we were talking about before with the glass. Because you have to figure out, am I going to make it so the gold lands inside of these shapes, or am I going to make the gold the shape that I need it to be and then paint around it? That might be something new.
It's confusing to us.
All these gold pieces are all, and I got more over there, are all from that show that never happened for, it was actually for Allure magazine. As I said before, like I'm really interested in the aesthetics of car culture, and this is me pushing that even further. I was actually going to do a show of these big metal paintings, but COVID hit and the show never happened. And so now I have these giant metal paintings. I was going to do like 10 of them. These are the first 2. I have another one in the house. And they're totally made up. And if you built metal cars as a kid, you know this reference. You get a little sheet of decals with the model car, and it looked like this, like they would lay it out, whatever way they could get it to fit together, then number them so you knew where they went on the car. And so these are just like made up versions of that. So this one in the back, which is called Superstition. Everything on there is a superstition or a version of a superstition. So SS, shooting star, broken mirror, fingers crossed, black cat, bad things happen in three times, a rabbit's foot. I mean, go on and on and on and on and on. And I have a bunch of these already designed, but obviously the whole thing got put on hold. And then this one in the front, the dark horse, same thing. It's just all things that are sort of the dark horse. Don't bet on it. Last place, underdog, out of left field, long shot. So it's like funny, and it's like it's sort of it's me exploring design. That's kind of it. That's the gist. All right, man. Thanks for coming. I gotta get back to work.
Peace.
Don't trip. Don't trip. Later.
Later.